Does money bring happiness in our lives?
In this world, there may be only two problems. That is man and women.
Do you feel like happiness is something that we pursue, or it is something that comes as a reward of doing what fulfills us?
In simple terms, if you are comfortable, believe me, you cannot add on anything.
That's true.
And you have a very high risk of losing what you have.
There is a saying that has been going on mostly in our societies, that money is the root of all evil. Do you believe in that? Or do you have another version of it?
With experience, I will tell you, the life abroad is not easy at all, and is not enjoyable.
Have you been in that situation that you feel like the location in which you are or where you are born has also an effect on how far you can go in life?
For negativity is always there. It is always a factor for someone to live. Because if you don't have any negative energy or a negative power inside you, you cannot progress.
What you are trying to say, money plays a big role in achieving our goals.
That is very true. I will tell you this one. It is very, very important. Always don't do anything to make anyone happy. Do something to make yourself comfortable and happy. In this life, we have chapters. We may call them chapters.
How do you define success as a person? What are the things that you do that make you successful? Is success equal?
Success depends on your person. No one is going to say that, they may say that you are successful depending on what you have, or someone what is basing on to say you are successful. But to me, success begins with you, the way how you take it. For example, if you do anything and you achieve it and you finish it, that is success for you. Because success, it comes in small amounts, not like at one time you
achieve it all.
You achieve it all. It cannot happen. It is, for example, if I use like a school, it has levels also. Step by step, you finish one level. If you're successful, you continue to another level, like that, until maybe you stop at a level where you want to stop from.
If, let me give an example. When we are growing up, we have different dreams. And we so much want to achieve those dreams. But along the way, circumstances change. And you find that most of the people are now living the lives that I would say are not pleasing to them. What they wished they would be drifts away each day that passes. How would you term that? Like, is that part of living a successful life?
Because once again, I will use an example of a school. When students, all of them go to school in senior one, all of them they are aiming at
reaching senior 4 maybe.
Not only that one, reaching senior 4. Because that one can be a long term, but on a short term, everyone is aiming to perform better in a class.
That's true.
But you find that there is one who is leading them. Now, what does that one? It brings me to what you have said, that you like success. If you have failed to achieve most of your goals which you have planned, at first you plan with a bigger,
like in a broad,
in a bigger picture. But you don't get it. But something you get is small, even if it is small or big, provided that it is in your limits where you are. Still I consider it a success, though it may not be the same.
Do you think sometimes we have bigger dreams? Do you think our brains picture something big that is out of our reach?
No, in most cases, we picture things that we can manage. For example, in most cases, to achieve these things needs the capital, as I told you before, that is money.
Yeah.
But now sometimes you may have a big dream when you're still young because you are energetic.
Yeah.
The ability for you to have power and being strong, you may think that you can
achieve it.
You can achieve it even if you don't have money.
Yeah.
Let's say now you want to do something, but it needs your physical involvement.
Yes.
So your power.
You need to be in good health.
Yes,
in simple terms.
Yes, your power or your health may make you think that you're going to get this one or to achieve it.
Yeah.
Even though you don't have enough capital.
Yeah.
Also, since you are strong enough, I will give you another example. When you're going to start up a business, for example, a shop dealing in food.
Yeah.
You are selling food. Now, for you may think that since if you can afford getting a bicycle, you cannot buy a car to collect the goods from the villages inside.
Yeah.
And for you, if you manage to get a bicycle, since you are energetic, you may think that you'll be doing that one daily. You go to the nearest villages, use your bicycle,
and you bring the things
to your shop and you start selling since you have power.
Yeah.
But that one, you may not do it consistently.
Like energy goes, like your health deteriorates as time goes on.
Now, also when you keep doing the same thing consecutively, it becomes notorious or more, it becomes gives you it makes you bored.
Yeah.
So this is why at a certain point you are doing something, you're focused, you're moving. Later on, you move on the lane.
Yeah.
Because you're doing the same thing.
Every time.
So it makes you bored, and you may end up leaving it.
Yeah.
This one will also brings you to a certain limited level of success you can go on. But you had a bigger dream. Maybe you will think that since I have energy, I will start slowly as I grow. But during the way, these factors come in and you don't have enough capital. Because I tell you, for you to be successful in most cases, it is capital.
Yeah.
For example, if you have enough capital, you reach your goals very fast.
Very fast. So in order to what you are trying to say, money plays a big role in achieving our goals.
That is very true.
I agree with you. Okay. In Uganda, we are limited by a lot of things.
Yes.
And I see a lot of people, especially now, we are in that level. Before, we had a lot of dreams. And now with time, you find yourself that you are in a situation where you start to feel that some dreams have to be ticked off. They are achievable, but it may take a longer time, which you think you may not have. Have you been in that situation that you feel like the location in which you are or where you are born has also an effect on how far you can go in life?
Now, what you're trying to say, if I may understand it the other way, like if you want to say like the place where you were born from or where you come from, if it can bring like a kind of a negative energy towards you.
Negative or positive,
It may bring a negative energy because the negative energy is the one which will limit you to progress and reach where you are supposed to reach.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you, the most important thing is for you to remain positive and focused. And remain on the lane where you belong.
Yeah.
Because for negativity is always there. It is always a factor for someone to live. Because if you don't have any negative energy or a negative power inside you, you cannot progress.
That's
in
true.
Simple terms, when you have negative energy alongside you, it gives you more energy to keep progressing and moving.
Yes.
Because if you have a smooth lane, believe me, it is very easier for you to fall back down.
You have actually reminded me of some law. I did agriculture in O-level and A-level, and there was a law of diminishing returns. I don't know if you are aware of it.
It is also in economics.
It is also in economics. You are aware of it, whereby they talk about operating in the area where, how can I explain it? Because we don't operate in an area where what you put in is what you get. But we operate in the diminishing area. What I got is when you put in, you get less than what you expect. that is how the law of diminishing return goes. Meaning that you are in control of what can happen and you solve it. But if you are in an area where you just put in and you get, meaning you don't know what the limit will be. I don't know if I'm explaining it well. Is that how it was taught?
I may not remember it fully.
Yeah.
But
have you got my point?
I'm trying to get your point.
Yeah.
But in simple terms, for me, this is how I see for you. Like, if you want to reach and stay on the top for a long period of time, you need to have some challenges which must be.
You need to have someone who is pushing.
Even if it's not someone who is pushing, you must be having a challenge to challenge you, such that you keep reasoning on how you can remain stable. In simple terms, if you are comfortable, believe me, you cannot add on anything.
That's true.
And you have a very high risk of losing what you have if you're comfortable.
Actually, comfort is the biggest killer of our dreams.
Exactly.
I agree. Yes, I agree with that. Because imagine of a situation where you have everything you need. If we had everything we need, we would have not discovered fire. If we didn't have pandemics, we would have not discovered the treatment. You get?
Yeah.
So every setback that comes into our lives actually sparks the research, the discovery of new things that help us to survive in this environment.
Yeah. It applies also on you as a man,
as a person. Yeah.
For you to keep moving, you need to be thinking every time on how you can keep yourself.
How do you keep that positive attitude, like that positive mind, regardless of the bad things that happen around you? How do you stay focused? How do you stay focused to that goal?
Now, to remain focused on the goal, always there is challenges must be affecting you.
Yeah.
You need to keep your mind saying that I need to do this one. Remember.
Yeah.
And another thing that can keep you focused properly, I will tell you this one. It is very, very important.
Yeah.
Always don't do anything to make anyone happy. Do something to make yourself comfortable and happy. Whenever you will find that you are doing something because of someone else, know that you are doing a mistake. Or you want to do something, someone to see you. It is not good. So, even if you have a negative energy, but you know that for you, you are doing for yourself a service, not for anyone.
Not for anyone. But when you talk about doing something for yourself, you see, in this current generation that we are in, the coming up of social media where everyone is positing their life and the positive lives. And we see a lot of things that we admire and we want to do them. I see that competition is everywhere. So it is very hard to do something that pleases you as a person. Most of the times we see things, maybe we want to change the situation in our homes and it acts as a barrier, either a barrier or something that pushes us towards achieving. So how do we navigate the social media pressure into focusing solely on ourselves? How does one go about that?
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about, that the effect of social media, because you have seen someone has done something that you don't have, or what I can support is one. When you see something better, you can go for it to change yourself. Not to do it such that the other one sees
you. Yes, you impress the other person.
Or to impress anyone, because like for him, he has something better than you and you do it such that they see now you are ahead of the other one. Now, for example, what you should know, there are some people who you don't see on social media, but they are doing great.
That's true.
Now, for you may see the other one having a good car or having a good house. Now you want to do it like it is better than for that person who you have seen.
Yeah.
But you forget there is someone who has a
better one.
than that one which
Yeah.
you have seen. So does it mean when you will see the other one, you will go ahead to do the other one which you have seen, which is better than the other one?
I get it.
Exactly. So it is very better for you to do something in your limits, which makes you comfortable and can keep you reasoning such that you can move smoothly.
Yeah.
Not without any influence, not with any effect aside you because you have seen anyone has done something.
Yeah. Do you feel like happiness is something that we pursue, or it is something that comes as a reward of doing what fulfills us?
Happiness, for me, the way how I take it, whenever you get something and you achieve it with your efforts,
Yeah.
you feel happy. This is why, for me, I take it seriously. Like when you involve yourself in doing something and you achieve it,
Yeah.
you get a very big reward of happiness. Now, if you look at a case example, you have sat for an examination and you have cheated in this examination.
Yeah.
When the results come back, will you be really happy or will you be faking the happiness?
I will not be genuinely happy because I know.
Exactly. In simple terms, you will not be happy.
Yeah.
But assume you have sat for it, it was difficult, and you have squeezed the pass out of it and you have succeeded, you have got the good results.
Yeah.
Will you happy? Will you be happy?
I will be very happy.
You will be extremely happy.
I will celebrate.
That is the simple thing that makes someone happy. When you achieve a goal which you have actively involved yourself, this is what will make you happy.
Does money bring happiness in our lives?
Money may bring happiness if you use it what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It can bring happiness once you have used it properly to achieve your goals.
Yes.
Now, there is also misusing of funds or money, and you end up when you're not happy.
Yeah.
Now, assuming you have got money, like one time you have got a one-time money. Now, instead for you investing this money, you decide to go and
spend it
or go to the club or get different girls. You'll be sleeping around with these girls, and by a bad luck, you get a disease from this side, like a permanent disease.
Yeah.
So, will you be happy for your entire life?
Well, it depends on how you take yourself. But in that instance, you will not be happy.
You may not be happy. So, money will bring happiness. You will enjoy, but it also depends on how you have used it.
Yeah.
In simple terms, you may have money when you are not happy.
That's what they say. I don't know. Well, okay, what do you feel like money brings happiness, or when you have money and when you have money and you use it for the right things that maybe you support, that's when happiness comes.
Yeah, you get happiness. But you may get money and you find that the way how it changes your system of activity and your system of behavior. So you may not be happy. Now, because in most cases, when guys, some of them, they get money and they are capable of providing everything which they feel like they can provide, you find someone ending up producing children from everywhere.
Yeah.
Now that one becomes a calamity instead, because you will not, even if you have money, you'll at a certain point you'll keep getting some other disturbances from this situation.
There is a saying that has been going on mostly in our societies, that money is the root of all evil. Do you believe in that? Or do you have another version of it?
Of course, money, it is a source of every problem. Which you see, in simple terms for me, I normally say, in this world there may be only two problems. That is man and women.
Really?
Yeah, this is what I can say.
Yeah.
Because if you are a man, a woman may make you steal to get money to give her.
That's true.
And if she's a woman, may end up killing someone for her to get the money.
Wow.
This is how I can try to relate this, because you may find that even if you are working very hard, Mr. Kizito, you will find that you're working very hard to have your family.
That's
and
true.
To provide for your family.
Yeah.
That's why you can be working very hard. You say, let me do this and this, such that my family be happy.
Yeah. In simple terms, you are working hard to have a wife.
Exactly, to have a wife. So you'll find that there is something attached with the woman some way.
Yeah.
Because me, I may say, if there was no that factor, most people we are not going to be working.
Yeah.
So you'll find that money, it is connecting directly with the woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about failure. We have dreams, and sometimes due to circumstances that we have explained, you may find that it is hard to reach those dreams. And there are people who have taken that onto themselves and they take themselves as failures. Do you feel one failure or not achieving one goal in life can determine the rest of your life?
Yeah, it depends on what goal have you failed on.
Yeah. Let me give an example. If my ambition from childhood was to study hard, go to the university, become a doctor, or get any profession, and along the way, maybe the people who are supporting me can't support me anymore, so I can't continue with pursuing that dream. I divert into other things, I make money, but deep down I feel like I've not achieved to the level of what how I pictured my life to be. So I find myself living in a life, even if I have the money or I have whatever other people consider being successful, in my life I feel like I'm a failure. Do you get my point?
I get your point.
Yeah.
Like specifically, you may find someone wanting to achieve a specific goal.
A specific goal, yes.
So this is why I was telling, also becomes part of success. If your goal has failed that you really wanted in life, so it means it will keep on disturbing you. You will not be fully happy. Yeah.
How do we navigate through that? If you have experienced such a situation, because I know a lot of people, especially where we come from, it is very hard to have a straight path towards achieving the success that we want. Sometimes we have to sacrifice, and sometimes the sacrifices we make can be the dreams that we wish we would have. So how does one navigate through acquiring that identity of being a failure, and actually you see yourself as someone who is successful?
Okay. In simple terms, failing in one area, it does not make you fail in the other area. This is where diversification comes in. For you to fail to graduate as a doctor, it does not make you, it does not mean that you have failed.
You have failed in life.
Yes. Now, if you have failed in the other area, take this opportunity. You need to be flexible.
You
cannot go and start there crying because you have not graduated as a doctor. But if you have got a chance in other sector, utilize it. Because all the purpose for you to graduate as a doctor, what was it? Was it going to save people's lives for nothing, for free?
No.
Or you give a charity to the hospital and you start working for free? No. So it means that the main goal for you to graduate as a doctor was to go and work and also make your life better. So it is the same thing. If you have got a chance in another sector, utilize it to achieve some of the goals which you're supposed to achieve in life. Because if you achieve a doctorate and you have, you are a doctor, you have a degree, and you don't have money, I'm not sure that you will be happy again.
Yes, of course you will not be happy.
So that's it.
Yeah. So in simple terms, there are a lot of things that we don't know about life. Much as we feel like we are in control of what we are in control of what we can become. But in actual sense, we know little about life. It is only God who has plans for us.
Specifically, you can plan for
how you want your life to be.
How you want to live.
Yeah.
Though some challenges will be experienced.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to live a good life. This is what I can tell you.
That is the goal actually for everyone.
You want to live a good life. A good life, it will depend on how you will determine it.
Yeah.
The specific things you want for you to consider that you have a good life. But for me as a person, I think that if I have a good health, if I'm capable of getting like what I feel is important for me at a specific particular time, and I have freedom, then it means like I will have gotten what I want in life.
Yeah, you would be living a life of fulfillment.
I will be living a life of fulfillment because I'm not so sure like if is there anyone who is happy, who is is living a life where he's being chased all the time.
Yeah. Okay, what about, what makes it complicated actually is you may achieve all that in an environment where most of the people have not achieved the life you have achieved. And it becomes a challenge, especially when it comes to freedom. Because what I know about money is it is scarce. It is not something that everyone has. So if you are one person that has been maybe elevated and other people have not been elevated, it also becomes a challenge. So also the environment matters in that case. So how do we deal with things that we don't have control about, especially when it comes to freedom? It is not an individual thing. It is something that deals with systems and how governments work. How do you deal with such things?
Yeah. First of all, you need to be disciplined. You need to have discipline at all stages of life.
Follow law, like you mean
you need to
obey the law.
If you talked about government, it means that you need to obey the laws.
Yeah.
Such that if you know something is restricted or is not allowed, don't put yourself into that condition that is not allowed.
Yeah.
It means that you will be free. No one will come to chase you.
Yeah.
If you are in the environment where you find that you are at a better side than the others, you need to learn on how you are going to cope up with that environment where you are. How you're going to be behaving with those people. Because now if you at that level, maybe you'll have limited yourself that's where you're going to be. Or where you're going to stay. If you have not limited yourself, you can find another better place to live that locality.
Yeah.
Because it means that if you're better off, you might have planned better than that.
That's so intriguing. I would like to dive more into the people who go abroad to pursue the goals or to achieve the success that they wish. Do you feel these people sacrifice a lot in order to get the opportunity that maybe some other people would get easily?
With experience, I will tell you, the life abroad is not easy at all, and is not enjoyable. So anyone who has managed to go abroad and is working there is going through very harsh conditions and challenges.
Yeah.
So they sacrifice a lot to find that they can do for themselves something better.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's why I go back to ask you, is money the source of happiness? Because the main focus of the people living abroad is to make money, right? And most people get the money, but they end up living miserable lives.
And now, like how you live a miserable life, like when you have, if you have money.
Okay, what I mean is, have you ever had the money and you feel like, now I have the money, what was all this for?
If we break down that one into simpler terms, it will be like this.
Okay, the thing is, let me bring it out clearly. I have the money, but I have sacrificed a lot to get the money, and it is making me feel like it's not worth it to have the money. I'm not happy because of that, because I've sacrificed a lot to have it.
You cannot sacrifice a lot and you say that you're not happy to have something which you have sacrificed for.
Really?
Yes. I'm sure if you have worked hard and if you have been working for a full month and they pay you at the end of the month and you remain not happy, then it will be a question for me that why you're not happy yet you have worked hard at the end of the month and you're not happy when you have received your money.
Maybe because my health is
No, you cannot fail to be happy when you finish to work hard and get the money which you have worked for. Whether you're sick or not, you'll feel happy and get more energy to work more.
What is that thing that you tell yourself that keeps you moving?
One thing I tell myself that I keep on moving, you need to understand in this life we have chapters. I may call them chapters.
Yeah.
First of all, you are young,
Being looked at.
Being cared for.
Yeah.
Everything given to you.
Yeah.
You are studying, everything given to. Then when you finish studying, that chapter was closed.
Yeah.
Then you started looking for yourself. For example, now you moved abroad and you start working. It means that you are in a new now
environment.
Chapter.
Yes.
Now, when you exceed that one, you'll go to start another chapter of your family.
Yeah.
I believe like if you're a man, you must get married. So that you'll have opened another chapter of living with another person.
Yeah.
And even more after.
Yeah.
Now, after that one, you will open another chapter where you will be taking care of yourself again and the others who will be under you, which you will have formed. So with all those chapters that I have mentioned, it means if you categorically understand them, they will keep motivating you to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you will want your children to study. So it means that you'll be laying down strategies on how you're going to be collecting the money to put them in school.
Yeah.
These people who you'll be staying with, your wife and the children, they will get some needs like how you had needs when you were still in that process where you were being cared for.
Yeah.
So you'll go through that process. So those things, all of them, when you combine them together, you need to put down ways on how you're going to make sure that everyone is comfortable. In simple terms, since it was direct to me, it makes me on moving.
It motivates you.
And thinking on how it can be more better and better all the time.
What is your reference point?
A reference point in terms of what?
In terms of achieving, because it looks like it's a cycle. Once you were young, you grew up, and at a certain stage, you have to also take care of someone like that.
Exactly. That point is very important for me.
Yeah.
How I cannot limit my thinking.
Yeah.
And that one, for me as a person, I cannot do it. That I have to do and stop at this level.
Yeah.
Every level which I reach on, it opens another lock.
Yeah.
And I have to explore what is there, because I may need at a moment.
Yeah.
Let's say I may need a net worth of say 700 million Ugandan shillings.
Yeah.
Now, when I achieve that one, it means that it will open up another lock to see how best I can improve that one, which I will have the net worth I will be having at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I don't limit myself.
Wow. It has been a great conversation. I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you very much. I also
and I would love us to do it the next time also.
Of course.
Because we still have a lot to share regarding the life that we live, the planning for the life, and a lot. And I hope the people out there who have been watching us have also gained a lot. You can also join the conversation in the comment section. You can send this episode to your friend and also endeavor to subscribe. TikTok, everywhere. What are your closing remarks that you would like to tell the people who have been watching?
Hey, just support Mr. Mark on whatever is happening and what is taking place.
Yeah.
Like, comment, and share. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep updated and getting more podcasts like this.
Thank you so much. It was nice having you.
Thank you very much.